everybody? It's your boy Easy, and I am here with Steve Crespo. Steve is one of our candidates from the tri-state area on the road to Sema. Steve and Hideki Fernandez, two individuals from the tri-state area building their cars over the last 6 years, and now they got a shot at making their dream come true, going to Sema. And we're going to talk about this journey that Motorbum and Steven are going to go ahead and take together. Steven, thanks for being on the show today, Steven.
You're welcome.
Yeah, really appreciate you, man. Really
I'm
appreciate
honored.
it. Awesome. Steven, so let's get down to the nitty gritty, Steven. Why the RSX chassis?
I don't know, man. It's just a chassis that I've liked, and since it first came out. Like I said in my my interview for Pass Mag, like I started playing with it in Need for Speed. That's when I first became to know about the car, Need for Speed Underground, and that's basically the car that I passed the game with, and eventually me seeing it in real life at the dealer, it was like, dude, this car is beautiful.
So on Need for Speed, you start picking your car.
Right.
And you pick the RSX. You're getting a bone stock RSX in Need for Speed.
Right.
So you're racing, you're earning money in the game, you're saving it in the game, and you're modifying the car in the game. Next thing you know, bam, here you come and you buy an RSX.
Actual RSX, yep.
It wasn't always right-hand drive, right?
No, and it wasn't, I didn't start with a Type S neither.
No?
I started with an automatic.
Automatic?
It was a
base model?
A base model. Automatic base model.
This is the same car today that you started with?
No, this is actually another car. I have two actually.
Okay.
I have two RSX. I have the automatic one, which is parked up now.
Which is what you started with.
Which is what I started with. And I ended up, getting the Type S along the way. Like after going to like car meets and stuff, like not actual shows, just car meets. Especially Club RSX meets back in the days, and everybody used to come to my car and like, yo, the car is clean, because I did like, when I got it, I went through like my Fast and the Furious, phase, like with the whole body kit.
I think
like,
everybody goes through that.
Like the whole rice style stage. I don't like using rice because, it's.
But it was the trend at that time.
Exactly, it was a trend at the time, and then I slowly transitioned into the whole JDM Japan,
more authentic,
exactly,
parts.
more
for the aficionado, right?
Yeah, exactamente. And eventually, when I went from the Fast and the Furious phase to the to the JDM phase, or the Japan inspired phase, a lot of people used to come to my car like, oh, the car is clean, because it looked like a Type R. But when they looked inside, they realized it was an automatic, and they'll tell me, oh, it's automatic. And, I kind of got a little bit sick of, getting that reaction from people. And then one day I went to a show, and one of my best friend's girlfriend at the time, she had a Type S. And to me, I'm like, hold on.
Why don't I have
a Type S? Like, she can't be a better driver than I am. You know what I mean? Not to be feminist or anything, but that's just a guy would think. Like, what is she doing that I can't? So a couple weeks later, I was looking on Craigslist, and then I found a good deal on the Type S I have now. And eventually, I started off, with a stock Type S.
What was your first modification to your first ever that you said, I got my new Type S, I'm gonna do it right? What was the first modification that you did?
First modification, I have to say it was coilovers, definitely.
The suspensions.
Suspensions.
So you get rid of that ride gap.
Yeah,
that gap.
Exactly, off the bat.
All right. And then after that, paved the way for your wheels, probably, right? Or did you go straight into the motor? What did you do?
Honestly, honestly, when I started, I never pictured myself actually having or getting into the whole show car thing. Like I just, I wanted a regular Type S, RSX.
You were just a guy that liked the car.
Exactly.
You were working, doing your thing, and you wanted to buy it. So let's touch on that, what you just mentioned. The show car aspect of it, right? You've been building this car for 6 years. That means that you've been going to shows and events for the last 6 years with the RSX Type S.
Right.
But what made you say, hey, I'm going to go to a show?
It was just a friend. Like, he invited me. He was like, yo, let's go to this Honda thing. I'm like, what Honda thing? Yeah, it's an event called Honda Day. I'm like, all right, cool. And then that was actually my first show, like my first actual event. But it wasn't until I went to Week Fest that it sparked it. It sparked, like, because it brought a whole different aspect of it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to take a step back, and I want to talk about Honda Day. So your first event, your actual official car show that you went to, your first official car show was Honda Day.
Right.
An OGS 1320 event.
Yes, it was.
So I think that a lot of people start at OGS 1320 events as their first shows. Because one of my first car shows in New York City was an OGS 13 event in New Jersey, in the tri-state area. And a lot of people that I talk to, they start their Honda show, I guess, hobby, going to these shows as they're escaping the release due to OGS 1320 events. We have to thank OGS 1320 to put on these events and being in the industry so long.
Definitely.
But we do have to give props to some of the up and coming guys,
right,
and then some of the even old school veterans like Wickfest, which is a show, in my opinion, that sets the standard in what is the aficionado niche of car enthusiasts.
Definitely does.
So you went to Weekfest.
I went to Weekfest, and after going to Honda Day, because Weekfest we have like it's been around in the East for like the past 3 or 4 years, not too sure. But
it started in the West Coast, though.
It started in the West Coast, right? This was like a Cali movement, you know what I mean? And then they came down to the East like about 4 years ago, I believe, or 3 years ago. But at Honda Day, I could say like that's when I really started getting into like the whole car thing. That's when I was like into like, all right, I'm gonna build the motor for the track. I'll build the car for the track, because that's what mostly people go for over there, to see the cars, whatever. So that's what I like. I'm like, yeah, I want to build a track car. I'm gonna build my RSX to be a track car. But then when I went to Weekfest, I liked the scene more. Like that's when I saw these amazing builds, and it wasn't only Hondas. It was just like
a little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything, and then that's when I was like, dude, like I want my car to be here.
As an enthusiast and being in the scene so long, meaning you started with your basic RSX Type S, and you built a Wickfest winning car. You've won at Wickfest.
Yeah, I definitely did.
So how do you feel, just like in a nutshell, looking from where you started, from that RSX base model that people were like, oh wait, to this like, build that you have now?
It feels great, actually. It feels amazing. To see like having a vision and then see it come true. It's a feeling that everybody loves.
You didn't make it to this level by yourself, though.
Definitely.
I mean, you had to learn from somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to learn from somebody. And whether it's the internet, Google, your local retail shop, who would you say was instrumental in helping you gain the knowledge to build a car like this?
I would have to say one of my best friends, Bebe. His name is Bebe. We call him Bebe. He was the one that actually paved like the way. He had an RS. His father was actually the first person I've ever seen with an RSX. Period. Like that was when I really first saw the car, and then after his father having it, and then giving it to him, he actually showed me what exactly was to actually own like a racing car. He was the one that actually paved the way to like, the whole, authentic JDM, you know what I mean, like type of scene. And yeah, so I would have to say it was him and a couple other friends. But overall, it was mostly like, like my family. Also, they were
very supportive.
They were really supportive about it. So having them behind me, and then my friends actually leading me the right way.
Did you have anybody else in your family that was an automotive enthusiast, like an uncle, dad, an older figure that you were looking up to growing up?
My uncle and my father.
Yeah, right.
But they, they were into cars, but they weren't, they knew about it, about their stuff. Like my father actually has a company down in Florida. He has a rental car company out there. So, he took his passion and his love for cars and made it his business. So, that's something that I would like to do also in the future. But yeah, my father was a actual like enthusiast and stuff like that.
So we spoke about the past. We spoke about 6 years ago. Fast forward, you went at WickFest here in the Northeast. Fast forward a little more, and we're talking about your road to SEMA.
Right.
So 6 years ago, you were looking at cars that are already in SEMA, and here you are at the very footsteps of SEMA.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How do you feel where you are now? Like, tell me about the Tuner Battlegrounds, where you're at now, the phase, this stage. Tell me about us. Tell me about that.
I'm actually honored that they're actually giving me an opportunity to actually compete, for the chance to make my dream. This is everybody's, every enthusiast's dream.
Yeah.
To actually get to SEMA, have their car being shown at SEMA. So, I'm actually, I got to give thanks to Past Mag and, the whole Tuner Battle community to actually, giving me a chance.
It's tough competition. I was looking at the rosters.
Dude, it's insane.
You're the number 12 seed, and right now in your bracket, you're up against the number 22.
Right.
It's a gentleman with an Evo.
Right.
Correct? It's tough competition. There's a lot of nice Evos out there.
Definitely. The Evo is nice. There's a whole bunch of GTRs. It's a lot of variety of cars in the actual competition.
Now, you know the competition better than anybody because you're in the mix right now.
Right.
And you've advanced 2 stages already?
I've advanced 2 stages, right?
2 stages. Tell me if I'm incorrect, but you and Hideki Fernandez are the only individuals from the tri-state area, right?
From the tri-state, for sure.
Okay.
That I've seen, I think so. I'm not too sure. I would have to double check. But as of now, I'm I think we are. Not too sure.
Getting from my producers, we're going to go ahead and verify that just to make sure. But I'm going to go on a limb and say that Steven and Hideki are 2 individuals that we need to swallow our pride and understand that if we're going to make it to SEMA, we have 2 individuals from the tri-state area that are already on the road to it. Individuals that have been building cars for the last 6 years. And I'm calling on everybody to support these individuals. Got to put New York State, got to put Connecticut, Jersey, the tri-state area on the map. Because again, we are going to confirm this, but I believe that the last few winners have been from Canada.
Yeah.
Canada. Can't blame Canada for everything, but we need to have somebody from our home states representing for us in Las Vegas this year at SEMA. I need you guys to go ahead and follow Steven on Instagram, his Facebook page. Make sure you vote on Tuner Battlegrounds, and make sure you vote for Hideki Fernandez. Next time, we're going to have Hideki here. We're going to give Hideki the opportunity to go ahead and talk about himself and his build. I want to go ahead and thank you guys for tuning into Motorbomb, and God bless, and stay tuned for the next ones. Steven, please, if you have anything else to say to the camera, maybe run by your Instagram page, Facebook link.
Yeah, sure. My Instagram is FreshKidSteve. All the E's are 3s, and I would just like to support from everybody. Help me out and make my dream a reality. That's it.
Thank you for watching, guys. It's boy S.I. Yeezy, signing out.